Think twice before picking up fish at your local grocery store. That fillet under the bright lights might look tempting, but what you see isn't always what you get. Grocery store fish can be a minefield. Some is fresh and delicious, but much of it is mushy, smells off, and comes from questionable sources. You deserve better than that. The difference between a beautiful, flaky piece of cod and a watery disaster often comes down to where you buy it. Don't be fooled by clever packaging or low prices. Today I'm exposing 5 major grocery stores where buying fish is a gamble you don't want to take. Let's dive in. First up, Walmart, the retail giant where you can buy almost anything from socks to TVs to groceries, all under one massive roof. It's a place millions rely on for convenience and low prices, and for many, it's the go-to spot for weekly shopping trips. But when it comes to fish, Walmart is a place you should absolutely avoid. The seafood section here is notorious for all the wrong reasons. The biggest issue? Freshness, or rather, the complete lack of it. Fish is one of the most delicate foods you can buy, and it demands careful handling and quick turnover. Instead, the fish counter is often a graveyard of seafood past its prime, cloudy eyes, dull flesh, and a smell that's anything but the ocean. If you're hoping for that clean, briny scent of fresh fish, you'll be sorely disappointed. Pre-packaged fish sweats in plastic, sometimes days or even weeks old, and horror stories abound about slimy, ammonia-scented fillets that should have been tossed out long ago. The texture is often mushy, the color off, and the experience is anything but appetizing. That's not just unappetizing, it's a food safety risk. Consuming spoiled seafood can lead to serious illness, and the lack of proper handling only increases the danger. Sourcing is another black hole. Labels like product of China or Vietnam often mean fish from crowded, poorly regulated farms, with rampant antibiotic use and zero transparency. These farms are notorious for cutting corners, and the journey from Asia to your local Walmart is long and poorly monitored. Ask where the fish came from, and you'll get a shrug. The staff rarely know the details, and there's little incentive for them to find out. The staff aren't seafood experts, they're just moving product, often with little training in how to handle or assess the quality of fish. There's no pride in the seafood counter, just a rush to keep shelves stocked. Online reviews are a minefield of complaints, mushy salmon, fillets that smell off, and customers warning others to steer clear. The negative experiences are not isolated incidents. Tilapia that tastes like dirt with a muddy flavor that lingers long after the meal is over is a common complaint. Shrimp with a chemical aftertaste, likely from preservatives or poor storage, is another frequent issue. Even the most basic seafood options are a gamble. This isn't a fluke, it's a pattern that repeats across stores and states. The problems are systemic, not just bad luck. The journey from ocean to shelf is brutal. Frozen, shipped thousands of miles, thawed, and left to sit for days, destroying both texture and flavor. By the time it reaches you, it's a shadow of what seafood should be. Even the frozen section is a letdown. Tiny prawns, pumped with water and phosphates, shrinking to nothing when cooked. You're paying for water weight, not quality seafood. Fresh fish is often just previously frozen, thawed out and sold as if it never left the sea. The reality is, it's been through a cycle of freezing and thawing that ruins its integrity. Walmart's business model is about volume and low prices, not quality. The focus is on moving as much product as possible, as cheaply as possible. When it comes to delicate, perishable fish, that approach fails spectacularly. The result is seafood that's unworthy of your table. Quality is sacrificed for cost, and the result is consistently disappointing, sometimes even dangerous seafood. You deserve better than this. If you're in Walmart, skip the fish. Buy something else, anything else. There are better options, even in the frozen food aisle or at a different store. Don't reward these abysmal standards with your hard-earned cash. Your dinner deserves better. Just don't. When it comes to seafood, trust your senses and your instincts. If it looks or smells off, walk away. Your health and your taste buds will thank you. Next up is Target, a store that's a go-to for everything from throw pillows to trendy kitchen gadgets. But when it comes to seafood, it's a different story entirely. The seafood section here feels like an afterthought, a tiny refrigerated case tucked away, holding just a couple of vacuum-sealed packets of salmon and tilapia, almost as if they're hoping you won't notice how little is on offer. There's no variety, no excitement, and certainly no sense of pride in what's being sold. It's a display that feels more obligatory than inviting. With such a limited selection, turnover is slow. That means the fish sits for days, gradually losing its freshness and quality as it waits for someone to take it home. The longer it waits, the duller the flavor becomes and the mushier the texture gets. It's a far cry from the vibrant, firm fillets you'd hope to find at a true fish market. Target likes to tout its commitment to sustainability, but the reality is much murkier. The labels are vague, often filled with buzzwords but lacking real information, and there's never a knowledgeable staff member around to answer your questions or explain where the fish actually comes from. The focus here is all about convenience, grab-and-go meals, pre-packaged everything, not about delivering quality or freshness. Most of the fish is processed and packaged at a central facility, then shipped out to stores. By the time it lands on the shelf, it's already spent days in transit, losing that just-caught appeal. You're often left buying a product that's already past its prime, with faded color and a less-than-fresh aroma. Craving cod, scallops, or shellfish? Forget it. Your only choices are salmon or tilapia, and even those aren't inspiring. The frozen section doesn't offer much hope either. It's mostly farmed shrimp from unknown sources, with little transparency about how or where it was raised. You'll also find breaded fillets loaded with fillers and additives, more about texture than taste. And the salmon? It leaks water as it thaws, a sure sign it's been frozen for far too long. At the end of the day, Target is a general retailer, not a food specialist, and that's painfully obvious in their seafood aisle. The seafood section is clearly a low priority, resulting in a soulless, uninspired offering that leaves much to be desired. You're paying for the convenience and the Target brand, not for freshness, quality, or even a decent selection. Don't settle for mediocrity, especially when it comes to what you eat. Your meals deserve better than this. So, do yourself a favor. Skip the Target seafood aisle. Your taste buds and your dinner table will thank you. Aldi, famous for low prices and mystery aisles, but their fish is a gamble. The core problem? Inconsistency. One week you might get decent salmon, the next it's watery, bland, and falls apart. Aldi's rotating suppliers mean no consistent standards. Quality is sacrificed for cost. Transparency is non-existent. Labels are vague, origins unclear, and you have no idea about farming practices or sustainability. Most of Aldi's fish is frozen, and the fresh selection is just thawed frozen fish. Quality is a lottery freezer burnt, muddy tasting, or pumped with water to inflate weight. Texture suffers. Improper freezing destroys the flesh, leaving it mushy and unappetizing. No fish counter, no knowledgeable staff, just a wall of anonymous frozen bags. Processed options are even worse, more breading and fillers than actual fish. The appeal is price, but it's a false economy. What you save at checkout you lose in quality and flavor. If you care about your meal, don't risk Aldi's fish. Buy less but buy better from a reputable source. Dollar General, just don't. If you're even considering buying fish here, let me stop you right now. This isn't a grocery store, it's a variety store with some shelf-stable food. The focus is on cheap snacks, cleaning supplies, and household basics. Not fresh or quality groceries. Fresh fish? Not a chance. You won't find a seafood counter, or even a refrigerated section dedicated to fish. There's no fish counter, no refrigerated fillets, nothing that even pretends to be fresh. The closest you'll get is a freezer with a few sad options. What you'll find is in the freezer, tiny fillets and fish sticks that are mostly breading, with barely any actual fish inside. It's more filler than food. The quality is rock bottom. These are the rejects of the seafood industry. Storage is a nightmare, with freezers often overstuffed and packages tossed around carelessly. Freezers are often old, poorly maintained, and subject to temperature swings. You can see condensation and frost buildup, which is a clear sign of trouble. Frozen goods can sit out during stocking, leading to partial thawing and refreezing, a recipe for bacteria and ruined texture. This is how food safety gets compromised. You have no idea how the fish was handled, and the staff aren't trained in food safety for perishables. There's no oversight, no expertise, and no accountability. The fillets are wafer thin, often freezer burnt, and taste like cardboard. You're not just sacrificing flavor, you're risking your health. Sourcing is as cheap as possible, with zero regard for sustainability or quality. Most of these products are imported from the lowest cost suppliers with little transparency. Yes, it's cheap, but you're buying frozen water, freezer burn, and a real risk of getting sick. The savings just aren't worth the gamble. These products are nutritionally bankrupt and a waste of money. You're getting empty calories, excessive sodium, and almost no real nutrition. No scenario justifies buying fish from a dollar store. Even if you're desperate, there are better, safer options elsewhere. Buy your paper towels, but skip the freezer aisle. Save your money and your stomach for real food. It's a culinary dead end. When it comes to fish, Dollar General is the last place you should ever shop. Finally, Safeway, a traditional supermarket with a shiny fish counter and a history of problems. Safeway has faced multiple seafood recalls, from undeclared allergens to dangerous bacteria like Listeria and Salmonella. Recalls signal serious breakdowns in quality control. Customer complaints are common. Fish that smells off, pale and mushy salmon, shellfish with a chemical taste. The thawed for your convenience trick is rampant. Fish that looks fresh but was delivered frozen and thawed in store. Once thawed, quality and safety decline rapidly. Staff may look the part, but expertise varies wildly. Many can't answer basic questions about sourcing or freshness. You're often paying premium prices for fish that's mediocre at best. Prepackaged options suffer from long supply chains and questionable freshness. Managing quality across thousands of stores is nearly impossible, leading to wild inconsistency. One store might be fine, the next a disaster. You shouldn't have to play supermarket lottery. When you buy fish, you're trusting the store with your health. Safeway's track record should make you think twice. Be skeptical, ask questions, and if anything seems off, walk away. There are better places to spend your money on good fish. There you have it, 5 major stores where the fish just isn't worth the risk. The common thread? A lack of respect for the ingredient, the supply chain, and you, the customer. Don't compromise on quality or safety. Use your senses. Look for clear eyes, firm flesh, and a clean, ocean-like smell. Ask where the fish came from and when it arrived. If you don't get a straight answer, walk away. This isn't about being elitist, it's about being smart. You deserve delicious, trustworthy food. Find a local fish market or a reputable grocer, even if it costs a bit more. The difference in flavor and peace of mind is worth it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more no-nonsense grocery tips. Go cook something amazing, stay smart, shop safe, and eat well.